We spoke a little bit about Brad Stevens all the time. If you follow our podcast,
hey, he's still on the hot seat, bro. I don't care what anybody says.
subscribe and follow our podcast if you don't. We're on pretty much all the different platforms.
Support
down there, you'll be able to see all the different platforms. But to continue on with what we're talking about, Brad Stevens. Throughout the whole entire year, we're talking about that this is the main guy. This is the main reason why the Celtics aren't gelling too well, besides all the injuries and other things when it comes to not being able to fill your roster in all the way, losing Gordon Hayward, different things like that. But you're able to form roles on the certain players that you already do have. Now, I kind of feel like this coach really gets all these different pieces and then makes them do a lot better once they're all put together. Now he has 2 stars, and now he has to make a well-oiled machine after that. Right. I don't think Brad Stevens is the right person for this job anymore. Maybe in the beginning, he's great at developing players. He's great at doing all these great things. But let me tell you this much.
Talk to me.
If it's a different fucking coach in that realm, especially, I'm just going to say it, if it was a black coach, he'd be out in a fucking minute. The same way,
Thank you for telling the truth, Robbie.
Because already I hear everybody talking about how Brad Stevens would leave the Celtics and go to the Bucks, and they would go crazy with them and all this and all that. Dude, he literally had all this fucking talent and wasn't able to get to the next level when it comes to the finals in the East.
Right.
So I understand LeBron was in the East. I understand they were all young, all this. There's a lot of different excuses, but you didn't get the fucking job done. And
sure
this
didn't.
year did not. You're always supposed to go up. He went down. This year was a breaking point for me. If I'm like an owner, a business guy, whatever it may be, if I had like authority over Brad Stevens, he's out of there. Hopefully I have a good replacement. I'm the Boston Celtics. Who doesn't want to fucking coach for the Boston Celtics? But what I have to say is this guy Brad Stevens, I think he's a problem here. But with this win, does that change anything? I kind of gave an overview or summarization of what we've been saying about him throughout the whole entire year.
See, here's my thing. I don't think it changes anything only because this is like the one thing that it's not really on like the coach's part, but actually, no, fuck that it is. He doesn't really build camaraderie like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Let me ask this much. What is the coach's job simplified? Like, don't even think about it. Just answer. What's the coach's job?
To put in the best players when it's time to.
So basically, put the player in the best situation possible so that they can succeed, right?
Yes.
Do you think that he has allowed these players to do that? I don't think so. Just with the players, maybe giving the star players the biggest role and kind of doing the Tom Thibodeau thing where they're having a lot of minutes. Like, I get that part. That's fine. I like the way he's using that. Finally, letting these guys just play with the ball and be themselves so that they can be stars. The other players, he is not rotating them right.
No.
I don't think he's handling Kemba Walker very well with his injuries and all that stuff. He produced today. We were actually going to talk about that. But, I kind of want to wrap it up with the Brad Stevens thing. I can talk about that shit all day because I don't want him to be there. But if I was a Celtics fan, I want this guy out. We've been talking about it for a long time. And does this game change anything? No.
Nah, no,
it doesn't.
Still doesn't change
It's a little bit cool because, the Washington Wizards were rolling going into the play-in. But, yeah, you didn't really beat a good team. It's not a great team.
Yeah.
So, guess what?
PK fire!
Fire his ass. Fire his ass. You were typing there. Were you applying? That was cool, right?